Are you serious? Tensions in the world. Tension, tension, tension. Oh, Jesus said it would be this way. He said there'd be signs in the sun, the moon, the stars, and distress of nation with great perplexity, and the seas and the waves roaring. Breaking news from Reverend Gary. Don't forget, there's an asteroid going to go by. Thank you, Reverend Gary. An asteroid that's going to go by the Earth today, and it's pretty good size. You know, you don't even hear anybody talking about that. It's not going to hit us, but you always have to wonder what other small meteorites and things would be following along with it, because it will be close enough that there could be something that could break through the atmosphere. Don't know. We'll just watch it, but that's today. But there is some problems. China and Japan, quickly, 3 Chinese government patrol ships have entered the Japanese territorial waters. Japan's Coast Guard says that 3 among 6 Chinese vessels which entered into the Japanese waters off the disputed islands this morning between 5 and 6:30 a.m. today on September 24th, 2012. The Coast Guard officials have confirmed that the marine surveillance ships, the Haji 46, that's wrong, the Hajan 46 and the Hajan 66, each entered Japan's territorial waters from west and northwest around 6:30. There was another boat as well a little bit after 5. So this is not a good thing. Tensions continue to mount as it relates to Japan and China and the dispute over 3 islands and who owns them. Now, besides that's going on, listen to what's going on in the Muslim protesting of the radical Islamic Muslims. Muslims were protesting in Nigeria, Iran, Greece, and Turkey yesterday, September 23rd, 2012, in a show of anti-Western anger against the film The Innocence of Muslims. So what they're really saying is they're angry that America's freedom of speech is allowing any type of scrutiny of the Prophet Muhammad. Now, it doesn't matter that Christians are crucified in the front lawn of Mohammed Morsi's presidential palace in Egypt. It doesn't matter that in Tunisia, the Muslim Brotherhood beheaded a Christian man, and the Egypt's Mohammed Morsi showed it live on state-run television throughout Egypt. It does not matter to them. When an 11-year-old girl was accused of blasphemy because even though she's mentally challenged, some said she might have tore out a couple pages out of the Quran, they're threatened to kill her, put her in jail for 11 days, and had to move her family away. It does not matter to them. You just don't want to do a film with the facts that Muhammad, even though they're true, it's a bad taste, and I wouldn't do it. And I don't think the guys that made it, the guy who made it in California should have done it either. But it should not have caused all the reaction there is in the world. Folks, I don't believe it. This is pre-planned because the United Nations meetings are coming, and Benjamin Netanyahu is screaming, stop Iran from building nuclear weapons. Yet the president will not give Benjamin Netanyahu a meeting. But Bill Clinton's going to meet with Mohammed Morsi. And Ahmadinejad of Iran is going to meet with Mohammed Morsi, along with the Secretary General. Some nice little cafe just outside around the corner there from the United Nations building would be a nice spot. Something biblical's going on, folks, with the signs of the second coming of Christ. As delegates from around the world begin to gather in New York City at the United Nations General Assembly, where the clash between free speech and blasphemy. Folks, this is what it was always about. Will be bound to be. So what? So what? This is America. Freedom of speech, democracy. That's what we founded this nation on. That's the reason the Pilgrims left England in the first place. To freedom to worship. That's what America's founded on. The Word of God, by the way. Freedom, liberty. Jesus said he come to set the captives free. The Jubilee year in the Jewish Levitical law, it was the 50th year, the year of Jubilee or freedom. Oh, I'm just about ready to puke with the politics of the weak-kneed leaderships in America in a lot of areas. I mean, you don't run and hide from this. And you might say, well, Pastor Begley, you're overreacting. Iranian students chanted as U.S. flags were burnt all over the Muslim world. And Iranian students chanted, "Death to America" and "Death to Israel" outside of the French embassy in Tehran, Iran, in protest at the decision by the satire magazine Charlie Hebdo to publish cartoons of the Prophet Muhammad days after the widespread protests come where some were deadly against the film made in the United States. Shiite Muslims in Nigerian towns burn U.S. flags, French flags, Israeli flags. Anybody else got any flags they can burn? They're running out of flags. In Pakistan, 15 people were killed. It's actually 19. In protest, as government ministers offered a $100,000 reward for anyone that kills the filmmaker. Now, just hold on a minute. All right, so Bill Clinton is going to meet with Mohammed Mursi. That should make us have a safer world, I'm sure of that. But wait, there's more. This guy, Pakistani government minister of the railroads. This guy right here. He is willing to give a $100,000 reward to anyone who kills the filmmaker in America. Now, this guy's not just this isn't Al-Qaeda here. This isn't, the Taliban. This is the railroad minister of Pakistan. And we give how many million dollars to Pakistan for foreign aid? And are we going to let this guy, a minister official of Pakistan, put out a $100,000 bounty on the filmmaker's freedom of speech and not say anything about it? Am I the only one going to say anything about it? Well, wait. President Obama's going to say something about it. Whew, thank you. I'm starting to worry. What's he going to say at the United Nations? President Obama to condemn the Christian filmmaker before the United Nations. Oh, that should help that $100,000 bounty on this man's head. You mean he's not going to stand up in front of the United Nations and condemn the Pakistani railroad minister for threatening to kill an American citizen, for putting a $100,000 bounty on an American citizen's head? No, he's going to stand up and condemn the filmmaker. That might as well be a death wish. Come on. What's going on? Freedom of speech is on the brink of extinction. Your rights, democracy, freedom of speech, it's being put on trial before the world at the United Nations, and Benjamin Netanyahu is begging the president for a meeting. But he doesn't have time because he has to get ready to prepare himself for the speech to condemn freedom of speech. I can't deal with this. I'm to my wits' end with this lying, the lying that's going on around the world. I just can't deal with it. But Jesus said this would happen, folks. Jesus said this would happen. He said they would be truce breakers, false accusers, incontent.